Hi everyone, today we're speaking to Judy Rees and I'm really excited to be in her home here in London and speaking to her. Hi Judy.
Hello.
How's everything going for you today?
Very well.
I'm very excited to be here with you and to know more about clean language. First and foremost, I'm excited about how you made your journey to NLP and then from NLP to clean language. So I don't know that much about your background. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and how you came to know NLP?
Yes, I was involved in news reporting.
Yeah.
I
could see you as a news reporter.
Yeah, I used to work on initially on local papers in the East Midlands,
Yeah.
and then on regional papers like the Birmingham Mail, which are quite big selling in the UK.
Yeah.
American audiences might not know about regional papers in the UK, but they're
Yeah.
quite big deals. You usually
Yeah.
have them in the evening.
Yeah.
And I was a news reporter and a news editor. And then I suppose about 10 years ago I came down south to London to work initially for Teletext, which was then the most profitable organisation in the British media.
Yeah.
Teletext, again, they don't have it in America, but
Yeah, what is Teletext?
a text service on your TV, the forerunner, I
Because I
suppose,
kind of remember
of the
hearing
internet.
something about it. Okay, yeah.
A forerunner of the internet. You used to get all the information. You still do. You get the information service, the news, the weather, the sport, just by pressing some buttons, and they come up in text
Oh,
on
I
your TV.
remember what it was. Yeah, you'd get a screen of all the different things that's going on. Kind of racing springs to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Racing was a very big deal.
Yeah, and you'd get all the results and football and stuff like that. Is it like that? Okay,
yeah, exactly.
good, yeah.
So I was working for Teletext. I was an editor for them. So managing the service round the clock, making sure we had news 24 hours a day and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Managing teams of journalists. That company expanded until by the time I finished there we had 120 journalists working for us. And we were across lots of different media, so we were on the web in various forms. We were one of the first places to do text delivery services of news and sport and racing results.
That's exciting.
And we were also on the mobile devices, like the iPhone nowadays, but
Really?
the original ones were called WAP devices, and we were on those. As well as on various kinds of digital television. So I was involved in managing journalists, managing information, and getting involved in the technical side of how do you do these new technologies as a representative of the journalists. So in all of that, Teletext was a big growing company and was looking to do management training, so I got on a committee to organise us some management training. During the course of that I came across NLP for the first time.
Yeah. How so? How did you come across it?
Well, this little committee, we had 3 different potential suppliers of a management training course. We had to choose between the 3.
Right.
The one we chose, we thought, this is rather impressive, we like how they're talking.
Yeah.
It turned out to be an operation that didn't say they were NLP trainers, but they were NLP trainers.
Yes,
yes. They ran the first residential training and I was on the pilot group. Oh, this is really interesting, tell me what it is. And it wasn't until, I think, the 3rd night of this residential training that they would tell me what it was.
Oh, right.
That this was actually NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and that I could find out more by going to the places they recommended.
Yeah.
So I went on a 2-day introduction with David Sh. I was doing a part-time degree in management. They called it Media Technology Administration. This was the .com boom time.
Right, because it was so exciting and sexy, it had to have the right language.
And so I was learning management techniques, I was learning about marketing, I was learning all kinds of things, which was great. And at the same time I was very much a workaholic. I wasn't, I would say, a happy person.
Yeah. Are you not a workaholic now?
I'm
a happy workaholic.
I'm a happy
You're a happy-holic.
Yeah. I may have workaholic tendencies still, but at least I'm prepared to admit it.
Yeah.
And I also have a wonderful partner, and we take time.
Steve, he's great. Hi, Steve.
And we have time to go out and walk in the countryside and all that kind of
lovely.
thing, which makes a huge difference.
You've got a gorgeous garden, which we're sitting in right now.
Excuse the aeroplanes.
Oh, it's lovely. And you can see the birds, you can see
convenient for Heathrow.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, so I wasn't a particularly happy person. I was very work obsessed. And I was getting more and more feeling that I wasn't able to do in terms of work what I was being asked to do. I was getting more and more nervous, I suppose.
Keyed up,
yeah, keyed up. Getting very, very stressed and having big difficulties in terms of being able to talk to people, being able to express myself, all those kind of things. And I was painfully shy.
Yeah.
So there I was trying to work as a manager and work on big techie projects and things.
Difficult, isn't it?
And I was really, really shy.
Yeah.
So that's my way to Pegasus NLP down in the New Forest.
Yeah,
where Reg
I've read
Connolly,
some of their stuff,
he runs a lovely training. I think he doesn't use this venue anymore, but it's in the New Forest, and it's like a log cabin.
Yeah.
And you've got a residential training in this log cabin.
Yeah, he has some stuff like that on his website, doesn't he? Yeah.
And you're there and you do things like climbing and walking in the countryside, along with learning your NLP.
It looks real wholesome.
It is very wholesome.
Yeah.
So where he stands when he's doing his training, there's a window onto the outside, and you can often see the bird come and sit outside the window, pecking at the crumbs or whatever. This is really important for learning.
Yeah.
What research has shown is that different kinds of spaces have different kinds of influences on your thinking. So, for example, if you want to do big thinking, all the possibilities, get a room with a high ceiling, or come outside.
Come outside, no space.
On the other hand,
no corners,
if you want to do detailed planning, get yourself in a little office with a low ceiling, and you'll get the better results. And you can apply this same information to where you train people. So we use a venue not far from here in Richmond, where you can see lots of green outside the windows. Got a really good view, and there's plenty of natural daylight. That was one of the things I did share. And
changes your mood, doesn't it?
So on our trainings, we always make sure that there's plenty of natural light, plenty of access to the outside, plenty of room to move.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so you went and you learned NLP, and then how did you move to clean language?
Yeah, so after Reg Connolly, I then trained with did Master Prac with Jamie Smart. Which was another amazing life transforming experience. Went through some huge personal changes during the course of that. It happened that just at the end of the 5-6 months of the Master Practitioner training, over that whole period, I was in the process of being made redundant from teletext. I actually knew for most of the time that I was going to be made redundant, but I couldn't tell anyone.
Trade secret.
It was one of those situations where, because I was management, I knew what was going to happen, but I wasn't allowed to say.
Difficult,
And that was a really difficult situation for me. And being involved in NLP and learning NLP during that time was very, very powerful for me. So Jamie introduced me to authors like Robert Anton Wilson and the ideas of Prometheus Rising and all that kind of thing, and Timothy Leary's ideas, which nowadays a lot of that kind of stuff people perhaps express through things like the Secret video and that kind of thing. But Robert Anton Wilson and Timothy Leary were thinking that stuff 30 years ago.
It's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? It's just amazing,
And presenting it in ways that made it manageable and able to use it. And I learned things like being introduced to provocative therapy. James interested in that. That was great fun. And provocative therapy is one of those things, like clean language, which tackles the problem of when you're working in a coaching or therapy context with a client, how do you minimise the influence you have and allow the client to do the best possible work they can, free of influence from you? Now, in provocative therapy, you do it in one way, which is almost the opposite of the way that clean language does it. In clean language, what you do is you just have 12 questions, and into those 12 questions there are slots where you put the client's own words.